Our first ever American Music Festival is a celebration which is going to last 3 weekends long, starting on October 23rd, continuing on the 27th and 29th, and concluding on November 3rd and 5th. And during that time, we're going to explore a wide range of American music, and it's going to feature our fantastic orchestra, and it's going to be a celebration of who we are as a city, as a country, with our musical identity, and how special Rochester has been in really most of the history of American music. There are so many special things about Rochester. I mean, it's not just Kodak, it's not just the Eastman House, it's not just, High Falls, it's not just the fact that we have an amazing baseball stadium here, and we also have a great orchestra, we also have a great music school, and Rochester has been an important place on the musical map ever since George Eastman founded both the school and the orchestra back in almost 100 years ago. Our first program, which kicks off on the 23rd of October, is a very exciting one. It's going to be performed at Hochstein, which is one of my favorite venues, and on that program we'll be featuring two pieces that have a very good connection with Rochester and our community. One composer who we'll feature is David Diamond, who grew up in Rochester, lived on Edgerton Street for most of his life, went all around the world, but then came back to Rochester where he was for the remaining years of his life as well. Funny story, I was actually fortunate enough to meet him when I was in high school growing up here in Rochester, and I took a couple composition lessons from him and was fascinated with his knowledge of everything and his resume. I mean, his resume is a who's who of really classical music for the entire 20th century. So he was a huge figure, and he lived right here in Rochester. So I'm thrilled to be including one of his works on our opening program. It's only for string orchestra, so it's ideally suited for Hochstein. It's very exciting. It's called Rounds. It's been one of his most popular, endearing works really ever since it was written. And then we're also performing a piece by Christopher Rouse, who is a great American composer still alive and composing today, and it's called Iscariot. It's very different from the Rounds, but it was completed in Fairport in 1989, Fairport, New York, right here in Rochester, so there's a little connection to our hometown as well. We'll also feature a piece by Gershwin called Lullaby, which was written as sort of a test. He was just trying out different ideas with some friends in like a private salon atmosphere, and the work wasn't actually published during Gershwin's lifetime. It was his brother who many years later unearthed this piece from his archives and sent it out to the Juilliard Quartet, who sort of brought it to life after so many years. And it's a very charming, easygoing, sweet melody. It's a lullaby, and it features the strings very nicely. So both of those pieces will be on the program, as well as a piece by Alan Fletcher, who is another great living American composer. He's also the president and CEO of the Aspen Music Festival, where I was a student, so it's nice to have that personal connection. And Alan's going to be with us here in Rochester at the performance, so he and I will be on stage discussing the piece. And then we end the program with Copland's Suite from the Tenderland, which is a beautiful work, very American in its subject matter, about a Midwestern farm family and a young girl who's graduating high school and sort of coming of age, and it's got a lot of beautiful, tender moments in it, wonderful music, and it's quintessential Copland.